Good evening, everybody. It's Monday evening, 6 o'clock here in Las Vegas, up on the sides of Sunrise Mountain. Just getting ready to start my regular Monday evening practice. Usually, I practice every Monday night at Endure LV. It's an amazing mental health facility here in Las Vegas that works with people that are in recovery from addiction and other things. And also, usually there's a group there from the Fearless Kind that is just an amazing group. It's a residential inpatient facility residential house for women in recovery and also dealing with domestic violence and exploitation. And I just got to say that I really miss practicing with those groups. I've been doing it for about a year and a half, and they're just truly amazing people. Been thinking a lot today about how that, in these times, it's so hard to not be thinking about the future. I guess that it's real hard to be present, to find ourselves right here, right now, because we're all, at least I am, thinking so much about when is this bizarreness, when is this turmoil, when is this isolation going to end? So we're thinking about the future. But, then all of a sudden something pops up, a memory, Facebook decides to remind you of something that happened on this date so many years ago, and all of a sudden you can find yourself stuck in the past. And so it's extremely difficult with constantly this yearning, this looking for the future, and then the way that our society comes up and bam, social media and everything else all of a sudden reminds us of the past. It's very hard to stay right here in the future, right here in the present, And that is the foundation of what trauma recovery yoga is about. It's about finding a way to be present, to be right here, right now, and find some safety, some security, some peace of mind, some just plain peace right here, right now. And that's why continuing these practices is so important for me personally, but it's also so important to help you maybe find that same bit of peace within yourself that I've found for me. I started practicing yoga almost 3 years ago after having a personal tragedy happen. My wife of 30 years had taken a fall from her horse and didn't survive. And trying to figure out and being constantly stuck in the what ifs, and what's going to happen now. I still don't know why, but I went into a trauma recovery yoga class here in Las Vegas at an old VFW hall downtown in a seedy section of Las Vegas. It's called the 705 because it's on 705 Las Vegas Boulevard North, right down in the middle of all of the homeless shelters. And like I say, it's a pretty seedy section of town. But I went in, I got a mat. I had to make my son buy me a mat because I couldn't even make that type of decision at the time. Too many choices. And I went in, set up my mat as close to the door as I could. I felt awkward, felt as if everybody was looking at me. I was halfway expecting it to be like a 12-step meeting. You know, hi, I'm Max. My trauma is that my wife died and I don't know what I'm going to do with what's going on. My world makes no sense anymore. Wasn't like that at all. It was people that were dealing with trauma the same way that I was trying to deal with trauma. And I started practicing. I sweated, fell over once or twice. I really did feel awkward, like everybody was watching me. But then we got to the end of the practice, and there was this magical thing called Shavasana. And all of a sudden, I found myself right there. Not in the past, not in the future, but right there. I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew that it was where I needed to be. And it became the one reason that I got up and willingly left the house. And through that practice, found several realizations. The first one is that I wanted my children, I wanted my grandchildren to want to come around me, Poppy, because they wanted to be around me, not because they felt obligated to come around me. I didn't want them coming over and go, oh, we got to go visit poor Poppy. You know, he's so sad. I wanted them to want to be around me. I also found that there was a way to take and find a little bit of peace and start stringing those little bits of peace together, and all of a sudden I could breathe again. So, but anyway, enough about me. It's 6 o'clock. It's time to start our practice. Just know that during this practice, everything I say is just a suggestion. If you choose to do nothing but sit there today and breathe, maybe sit there on your couch and smile at Max doing yoga. Somebody you never thought you'd see doing yoga. If it brings a smile to your face and brings you into the present, good for you. You're doing yoga. If you feel like moving through and maybe I'm going a little too slow for you and you want to speed it up because you're an experienced yogi, good. Enjoy. Just know that you're practicing and you're striving to find the healing within you. So everything's a suggestion. No requirements. There's not going to be any music. There's not going to be any, well, obviously I can't touch you and I can't correct you. There's not going to be any of that stuff, and there never is in a trauma recovery yoga practice. You are going to hear me talk the whole time. That's all about helping you find present, using my voice as an anchor to keep you right here, right now. So let's start. As we begin all trauma recovery yoga classes by practicing self-regulation. We start that with the first element, which is grounding. Grounding, we begin to notice maybe the pressure on the sides of our feet, maybe that little bit of pressure on the sit bones. Maybe we even need to just put a hand down and take a look at it and genuinely look and realize and notice that the ground is literally supporting us. It's not asking us, do you need support? It's there all the time for us. So feel that support, notice that support, and just be present with that support. The next piece of self-regulation is centering. That's when we begin to try to take and bring the focus of our mind and our muscles in our body into the center of our body. How do we do that? First, we lift the pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. And then we pull the belly button in towards the spine. You feel yourself pulling it in, Maybe if it helps you, putting your hand on your belly button, feeling your belly pull in, you'll feel your shoulders lift, and maybe, just maybe, you'll notice your thoughts and your focus drifting to that furnace we're stoking in our gut, pulling in, letting that stuff on the outside go as our thoughts and focus pull in, in, in. Next is the third portion of self-regulation. We begin to notice the breath. Maybe at first just noticing the air flowing in and out. Maybe feeling a little tickle on the tip of your nose. Maybe feeling a slight cooling down the back of your throat. Just noticing it, not trying to change it, not trying to control it, just noticing the air flowing in and flowing out. Now we're going to move into a little bit of breath practice. We're going to do a 3-part yogic breathing. We're going to release the belly, and we're going to fill the body up with air, starting at the bottom of the belly and filling it up slowly, up, up, up. To do that, we expand out, big belly. Continue inhaling, feeling the shoulders lift and the ribs separate. And that last little bit of air flows in and makes the eyes cool and sparkle. And then we exhale, the chin comes down, shoulders soften, and finally the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, chin comes down, shoulders soften, belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, feel your chin come down, shoulders soften, belly come in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. And then we exhale as the chin comes down, the shoulders soften, belly comes in. And now we allow the breathing to just fall back into its own natural rhythm, allowing the head to continue to bow down slightly, not forcing, not pushing, and continuing to notice the air flowing in, flowing out. Air flowing in, and air flowing out. And this time, as we inhale, we're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. And continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in. And then as we exhale, allow the chin to come back down to center. And on the next inhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Feeling that air flowing in and flowing out. Noticing that gentle stretch across the top of the right side of the neck. That gentle crunch on the left side. As we breathe in. And then breathe out, allowing the chin to rest heavily towards the chest. And on the next inhale, we're going to begin neck rolls. And we do neck rolls, linking them with the breath, just like we did here. We inhale, bringing the ear to the right and back. And then exhale to the left and down. Inhale to the right and back. Exhale to the left and down. One last time, inhaling to the right and back, and then exhaling to the left and allowing the chin to rest heavily. Continuing that breath, breathing in and breathing out. And on the next inhale, reversing that rotation, inhaling to the left and back, and exhaling to the right and down. And noticing that we inhale as we extend, we exhale as we compress. Inhaling as we extend, exhale as we compress and allow the head to hang heavily. Then we're going to take and slowly straighten our back, bring our head and our chin back up to neutral, listening to my dogs, seeing with the sirens as the fire truck or the police drive down the street. They love to add in. We're going to take and bring the right arm up, keeping that shoulder blade plugged in, spreading the fingers wide, shifting the gaze over to that right hand, turning the palm towards the face, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, allowing the light to flow in and stimulate the happy center of the brain. And then we're going to take and shift the gaze to the left, bringing the left hand down to the mat, noticing it, reaching for the ground and feeling the support. So we walk that hand slowly away. We inhale, reach that right hand up. Exhale, allow ourselves to come over the top, extending on the right and compressing on the left. Inhale, extend a little bit more. Exhale, take and come down just a little bit, just a little. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring that right hand down to the knee. And this time we're going to bring the left hand up, keeping that shoulder blade plugged in, shifting the gaze to the left, turning the palm towards the face, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, maybe feeling the corners of the mouth begin to edge up into a smile. Before shifting the gaze down to the right, placing the right hand on the mat, feeling again the ground and the support it's offering, walking the fingers slowly away, before inhaling, reaching up over the head, and then exhale, coming over the top, compressing on the right, extending on the left. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before we inhale, coming back up. Exhale, bring the hand back down to the knee. Now we're going to take and begin to move a little bit more vigorously. Inhaling, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring them hands down to heart center. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And then this time we're going to inhale, bring the hands overhead, interlacing the fingers, pointing the index fingers up, bringing the thumbs together, gazing up between those hands, reaching up, and then exhale, ticking over 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more before inhaling, coming back up to center, and exhaling, coming down just a little bit to the other side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhale, coming back up to the top, reaching up, 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 before releasing the hands and exhaling, opening the hands, opening the heart, feeling the weight of the world begin to lift from your shoulders. Inhale, bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the left hip, behind the right hip, excuse me. Sit up straight and using just your torso, allow your body to twist. Inhale, sit up straight. Exhale, shifting the gaze over the right shoulder using that front hand to pull yourself around a little bit more, intensifying that twist. Inhale, shift the gaze back to the front and unwind. Bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip, sitting up straight, and again, using just your torso, twist slowly. Inhale, sit up, look over that left shoulder, using the front hand, pull yourself around just a little bit more, feeling that release, feeling it begin to stretch out those tendons that run up and down your back. And then inhale, come back to center. And breathe in and breathe out. Now we're going to take and move into tabletop. Kicking my glasses out of the way so I don't step on them and smash them. Watching a little bit of the water run out of my nose from using the neti pot so I could hopefully breathe during this whole practice and don't gasp and sound like a fish out of water. Our knees are planted firmly underneath our hips, hands underneath our shoulders, fingers spread wide, tops of the feet on the mat. We inhale, feel our head pull to the far side of the room. Exhale, look over the right shoulder at the right pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder to the left pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, squeezing out all of that stagnant air, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, squeezing the air out of the left side, getting rid of all of that stagnant. Inhale back to center. One last time, looking over the right shoulder, feeling that crunch on the right side. Inhale back to center. And finally, squeezing and feeling that crunch on the left side. Before inhaling, coming back to center. Now we're going to take and extend the left leg back. Maybe taking this opportunity to tuck the toes. Bounce back and forth a little bit to stretch out that hamstring and that calf before shifting the weight into the left hand, reaching the right hand out to the far side of the room, pulling the belly button in to engage the core and lifting that back leg up and noticing that little bit of tremble, that little bit of shake, not judging, just noticing before coming back down into tabletop. And this time, extending that right foot back. Again, taking a minute to bounce on those toes a little bit, shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, engaging the core, bringing that right leg up. Again, noticing that tremble, noticing those little shakes as we exhale and bring it back down. And now we begin to prepare to go into our first down dog of the night. Tucking the toes, bringing the sit bones back towards the heels, and then hinging up, bringing our sit bones up, and knowing that it's okay to keep your knees bent. It's okay if your back's rounded. Nobody's critiquing. Nobody's judging. You're remembering this is your yoga, your way. Again, whatever you want to do is just fine. Inhale, look forward, walk slowly to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. We're looking for a flat back and a right angle between the legs and the back. But remember, this posture, all postures are just for you. The perfection's in your mind, not in the outward. It's on the inward. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands up to the crease in the hips. Straighten the knees and begin to slowly, as you inhale, rise up slowly, keeping the head tucked and the shoulders forward. Coming up, 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 up. And then rolling the shoulders back and the head up. And feeling a little bit more of that weight begin to lift. As we inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. You can always bring the knees down. Keep the elbows in, lower down, low push up. Turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog, and beginning that shift to the positive, beginning to train ourselves and begin a new habit of talking to ourselves in a positive manner. And we do that by practicing saying, I am powerful. I am worthy. I am beautiful. Inhale, look forward, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And this time we're going to inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, sit back in a low chair. Your arms may be pointing over towards the joint between the ceiling and the wall. Maybe taking a second to glimpse down and see if you can see your toes past your knees. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sink down just a little bit more before releasing it all into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold, step back, high plank, lower down, low push-up, turn the feet over, upward dog, tuck the toes, push back, downward dog. I am valuable. I am meaningful. I am okay. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing that leg forward between the hands. Doesn't matter how pretty it is getting there. Remember, this is your yoga, your way. Turn that back foot across the mat, rising up into warrior two. Front knee bent over the ankle, back leg straight, arms straight out, gazing out over that front hand, feeling a little bit of extension in that back leg. Taking a second to notice, am I leaning forward, yearning for the future? Am I leaning back, stuck in the past? Or am I right here, right now, in the present? Turning that front hand over and inhaling, reversing that warrior. Exhale, coming back up into warrior two. Straightening that front knee, shifting the hip back, allowing yourself to fall forward over that front leg. Feeling that pull on the inside of the front leg before rising back up into warrior two, windmilling the hands down and stepping back into high plank, pushing yourself right back up into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am powerful. I am valuable. I am handsome. Bring that left leg up and exhale, swing it forward. Notice how awkward I am. I had to put a knee down to get there. Rising up into warrior two on the other side. The back foot crossways across the back of the mat. Front knee bent over the ankle. Arms out, looking out over that front hand, turning that front hand over, and reversing our warrior, running that back hand down the back side of the back leg, feeling that stretch on the inside of that back leg. Before inhaling, coming back up to warrior two, straightening that front leg, tipping this pelvis back, allowing yourself to fall over that front leg, opening the heart to the far side of the room, feeling that stretch on the inside of the front leg. Inhale, come back up into warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, push right back up into downward dog. I am confident. I am valued. I am okay. Right here, right now. Inhale, hop walker, jump to the front of the mat, keeping the hands pointed down, transition into a low chair, feeling that pull in the back of the legs, and then rising up, bringing the hands up overhead, then bringing the hands down to heart center. Noticing the heart beating, feeling it pulsing against your thumbs. Before we inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, keep the elbows in, lower down, low push-up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Continuing that conversation. I am a good person. I am worthy. I am here. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Allow it to fall over to the left, looking out underneath that left armpit, taking a glance at those dirty little toes hanging out there. Before swinging that leg forward between the hands, bringing the back knee down, squaring the shoulders, rising up into a low lunge, feeling that pull on the front of the thigh, knowing it's okay to come into a kneeling pose, or dropping back, bringing your sit bones back to the heels to relieve the pressure on your knees in a hero's pose. Whatever way works for you. Remember, this is your yoga, your way. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling. We're going to gaze up between our hands. And in between our hands, we see a beautiful hot air balloon in your favorite color. And on that balloon, you're taking a Sharpie and you're writing down all over it all of the things that you tell yourself about why you can't move forward. All of the things that other people tell you that hold you back. You're writing it all down, and then you're lifting that balloon up, 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 and releasing it. You watch it floating farther, farther away, feeling it gently tug all of those things that no longer serve you out and away. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, and push right back up into downward dog. I am at ease. I am practicing yoga. I am important. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Allow it to fall over to the right. Look out underneath the right armpit. See which side's toes are dirtier before swinging that foot forward into a low lunge again on the other side. Feeling that pull in the front of the back leg, knowing it's okay to come back into kneeling or drop down into hero's pose to reduce the pressure on the knees before reaching up overhead one more time. And this time when you glance up, there's one of those magical sky lanterns, those beautiful little brown paper bags with that flickering candle in the little gondola. And into that little gondola, you're putting all of the words, all of the emotions, all of the feelings that you so want to tell all of the people in your life that you can't communicate to right now. You're putting that all into that little gondola. You're feeling it release the tension in your chest as you put it all in there and lift it up, 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 and release it. And you see it drifting up, being caught with the wind, and you see it and know it's being taken exactly to where it needs to go. Inhale, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, push right back up into downward dog. I am powerful. I am lovable. I am Max. Inhale, look forward and step through into a seated position, allowing yourself to take in. Begin to feel yourself feeling the sweat on your brow, maybe feeling that the tension is beginning to leave your shoulders. Maybe you feel those rubber bands that run up and down your back are finally beginning to let go just a little bit. Now, I want to invite you to bring the bottom of your feet together, knowing that sometimes your feet are out here, sometimes your feet are in here, sometimes your knees are up here, sometimes your knees are down here. That's what yoga is all about, is being present right here, right now. It's about practicing. There's no perfection. There's no completion. There's just practice. And whatever way your body is today is the way it's supposed to be. I want you to take a minute and pay attention to your lower legs and your feet. Just noticing this part of your body that supports you so often. Getting to really notice it, maybe for the first time since you practiced with me yesterday or practiced with me last week. Or maybe your regular practice, you pay attention all the time. Just knowing that it's important to pay attention to you, to listen to your body, and practice the way that you need to for you. So now, maybe keeping the elbows in, maybe keeping them out, maybe planting them on the floor, just allowing you to feel your spine stretching out, reaching for the ceiling, your head staying neutral. We're going to take and hinge from the hips, trying to keep the back straight as we hinge forward, opening the hips up. Maybe the elbows come out and push the knees down a little bit. Maybe they stay in. Maybe your hands are out here. But opening those hips up and allowing those emotions, those feelings, that stress that we hide down there in our hips, we're allowing it to all flow out. So we inhale, we feel ourselves pulled farther to the far side of the room. And we exhale, sink down just a little bit more, feeling just a little bit more of that tension being released. Before inhaling, coming back up slowly. And now we're going to take and bring the knees up, feet flat on the mat. We're going to get prepared to do the first of 3 boat poses. We'll talk a little bit more about that tremble and that shake that we noticed earlier. Allow your weight to shift into your sit bones, knowing it's always okay to keep one foot or the other on the mat. It's okay to hold yourself up. It's okay to hold the back of your thighs. We engage the core. Remember to keep breathing, keeping the head neutral. And we bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. Don't fall back like I almost did. Or if you do, that's just fine. And maybe we begin to row up the stream, just slowly, feeling that tremble, feeling that shake before bringing the right ankle over the left and allowing ourselves to fold over our cross legs, deflating. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, come back into our second boat pose. Maybe this time we're in a sailboat and the wind's blowing us across the lake, keeping that core engaged, the back as straight as we can, but not worrying if it's not, and feeling that tremble, and finally noticing that that tremble is linked to our mind and our body working together. Left ankle over right, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down and come right back into our third and final boat pose. Maybe this time we're floating on the lazy river and we're truly noticing that that tremble, that shake is our mind and our body working together to force fear out of the body. We're telling it, leave. We are in control. Right ankle over left. Deflate. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, set back down. We're going to roll over our legs, or however you can get into it, coming into a high push-up or plank pose. It's okay to have your knees down or your knees up, whatever works for you. Again, noticing that little bit of tremble. Allow the heels to fall over to the right and reach up towards the ceiling in a side plank. Again, noticing that control, coming back into plank. Allow the feet to fall over the other side and reach up towards the ceiling. Feeling, again, that tremble, that shake as fear flees the body. Exhale, come back down. Lower down into a forearm plank, feeling the shoulder blades pull apart, bringing the knees down, tops of the thighs, spreading the arms, bringing your favorite ear to the mat, allowing your feet to fold over, and feeling your breath flowing in and flowing out. And as that breath begins to slow down, maybe you'll begin to notice your heart beating. Noticing that heart beating, realizing that that heart beats with nothing but pure love for the most important person in that heart's world, which is you. It's pushing that love up, up, up into your brain, pushing it down, down, down into your feet. Inhale, bring the head up. Exhale, bring the other ear to the mat. And now, baby, you begin to notice that that love, once it's filled you up, begins to radiate and pulse outward. Maybe at first just encompassing your home and your family, maybe radiating out to your neighbors, your community, and ultimately the whole world. Pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Inhale, bring the head up to neutral. Bring the hands down beside the chest and push yourself up into tabletop, just long enough to bring the big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat, sit bones back towards the heels, and then I ask you or invite you to create a pillar, your own personal pillar, by stacking your fists on top of each other, elbows down on the mat, and bringing your forehead down and creating a connection between your own personal pillar and that third eye, that spot between your eyebrows. And begin to notice how that pressure is stimulating and signaling your brain that it's okay to begin to slow down. And you also may notice how you can see and feel those thoughts that are circling in your head begin to flow down through that beautiful column and be discharged and dissipated into the ground. It's just waiting to absorb all of your cares, all of your worries, all of those things that no longer serve you. We're going to inhale and begin to rise up. Again, keeping the head tucked forward as we slowly inhale and slowly, slowly walk ourselves up and take and bring ourselves up, and then bring the head up, open the eyes, blink the eyes, and feel the last of the day's weight just fly away and leave you with a sense of ease. Lean over to the side, and however works for you, put your legs out in front of you, feet flat on the mat, knees up. Allow yourself to slowly roll down to the mat, feeling yourself connecting and embracing the support that the earth is there to give you. Walking your feet out to the edge of the mat, arms out in T formation or up in cactus, whatever works for you. And as we exhale slowly, allow the knees to fall slowly, slowly, slowly to the right. And then we inhale ever so slowly, bringing them back up. Exhale, allow them to fall slowly, slowly, slowly to the left. Inhale them slowly, slowly, slowly back up. Exhale, they slowly fall to the right. Inhale them back up. Exhale, they fall slowly to the left. And we inhale them back up. And this time we're going to take and bring the knees in towards the chest. If you're like me and your pelvis is tilted, or you're just a guy, you need to take and maybe put your fists behind your sit bones to tilt your pelvis up, bring the knees up, and shoot your feet up towards the ceiling, feeling that blood flowing down into your torso, where your body is waiting to reoxygenate, rejuvenate, revitalize. Maybe you feel that gentle cooling as that stagnant blood flows back down into your core to be embraced by your internal organs before slowly allowing your feet to slowly come down, gently, feeling that last little bit of tremble and shake as we chase the last little bit of fear out of the body. And our heels touch down so gently that we barely even notice that they've kissed the floor. And as they do kiss, we allow ourselves to just melt and release. Maybe your feet splay open, releasing any tension on your hip joints. Your arms are just laying gently and naturally out to the side. Your hands have just released, not holding on to anything anymore. You feel the back of your head sinking into the mat, and you're just allowing yourself to release and fall into this final pose of Shavasana, our guided meditation. As we feel ourselves just sinking and subsiding, maybe feeling a little bit of tingling going on as the after effects of our movements, we begin to notice a beautiful light descending down towards the top of our head. We're anticipating, looking forward to, wishing for that light to come in and gently tickle the top of our scalp. It begins to flow in to our brain, into our cranium, illuminating, highlighting, revealing all of the little nooks, crannies, chasing out any of the last little cobwebs of those things that no longer serve us, chasing them down. We feel our forehead flatten out, the space between our eyebrows get wider, our eyes sinking deeper into their sockets. You feel your jaw go slack, your lips still slightly together as your tongue rests heavily against the back of your teeth. You feel that light flowing down, rolling into your shoulders and racing down your arms, embracing your fingers. You feel the tingle, feel the tickle as it floats around, releases all of the tension in your hands before slowly coming back up your arms as the light continues its flow, carrying with it all of those things that you no longer need. You feel its warmth, comfort, and security, embracing your heart, filling your lungs, and rolling down into your gut, releasing any of those belts that hold everything in, just allowing you to be as that light rolls down through your pelvis. You feel it tingling, seeking, searching down through your thighs, wiggling its way through your knees. You feel that light carrying with it all of that baggage, flowing finally down into your feet. The bottom of your feet begin to tingle as that light pushes out and carries with it all of that dust, all of that debris, taking it out, and it floats away, away, leaving you nothing but a puddle that is just slowly sinking deeper and deeper into your mat. And as you're lying here sinking, you see a slideshow of gratitude begin to play on the inside of your eyelids. All of those small things, maybe some of the big things that you're grateful for. Maybe you're grateful for that hug you got this morning. Maybe you were grateful for that text. Maybe, just maybe, you were grateful for that wonderful lunch you ate. Nothing big, nothing small, just things to be grateful for. You watch them floating through your vision, floating in and floating out, not holding on to anything, not trying to steer anything, just allowing them to float in and float out. As you continue to watch this slideshow, let yourself hear, internalize, and believe these words. May I be healthy, happy, and safe. May my family be happy, healthy, and safe. May my community be happy, healthy, and safe. May those I find difficult be happy, healthy, and safe. May the whole world be happy, healthy, and safe. May we all find ease. As we begin to move back towards conscious movement, I ask you to maybe begin by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rotating your wrists, rotating your ankles, reaching your hands up towards the ceiling, extending the fingers, wiggling your fingers, pulling your knees into your chest, and giving yourself a luscious, well-deserved hug before rocking gently side to side to massage your lower back and allowing yourself to roll over onto your favorite side into a fetal position, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, placing your upper hand one more time on the earth to feel that stability, that support that is always right there waiting for us. And then on the next inhale, begin to push yourself up, keeping your eyes closed, to try to hold on to this sense of peace and serenity and ease that you've gifted yourself. Rising up into an easy seated position, taking just a second to scan yourself from the top of your head, down your back, into your sit bones, through into your hands and your feet. Just noticing everything that you've done for yourself this evening. I invite you to bring your hands together at heart center, forefingers together, thumbs separated, gently pushing into the sternum as we allow the head to bow down to the ultimate ruler. I want to thank you oh so much for coming and sharing practice with me today or tonight. That beautiful, magical light within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all sharing practice with me tonight. I hope you find a little bit of ease in all of this worry and concern over dis-ease. Thank you.